We are literally, y'all, 31, 32 days from the end of the year. How did this happen? So much is happening. I want to make sure that you're kept up to date. So we're going to start with today's checkup points, the news and notes. Then we're going to get into the vital signs. And this is something that has hit me in the last few days. I've read a book about giving recommended by our friend LaShonda Brown at Bootstrap Biz Advice called Give and Take. And it's really got me thinking about this asking, giving, and receiving thing, especially around the holidays. I thought it was very appropriate. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Then we're going to talk about lab work. And this is what today's all about this weekend. Let's be honest, 90% of you are either already shopping or you have been encouraged to shop. Everybody's been encouraged to shop. And so we're going to talk about the best Black Friday deals for faith-focused creatives. All right, I see Pastor Fury is in the house. You are not late to the chat, my friend. You are right on time. Thank you so much for joining me, my brother. And I am sure that you're going to get a lot of value out of this live stream. So hang out as long as you can in the chat as well. And people pop in and pop out as way it is. It's a holiday weekend. I get it. So we go live. And of course, people who are watching this on replay, go ahead and let me know you're watching on replay. Okay, so then after that, we're going to go into our consult. And the question about the consult, which is appropriate for Pastor Fury and a lot of our other friends, is, are you starting a podcast? Are you revamping a podcast in 2025? Let's talk about the podcast thing, because that is, I would say 90% of my life. It's about 62% of my life now. And so I would say that I really want to make sure I'm helping the podcasters in our God and Geeks community more directly. So we're just going to find out. We're going to do a consult. We're going to talk about it. Are you podcasting? Should you be podcasting? Do you need to start a podcast? And what if you are? How can you do it better? How can you make sure you don't pod fade after just 7 episodes, which is the average podcast makes it 7. And I don't even think that might be even lower now. And then finally, we'll go into our prescriptions at the end of the workshop, at the end of the creative checkup. We'll talk about our email workshop that's coming up on Tuesday, which is fantastic. I don't think I've ever had a more qualified expert to come in to talk about something than the expert that's coming on Tuesday, who literally is the creator educator for Kit, which is one of the leading, if not the leading, email first operating systems for creatives. So, and entrepreneurs and everybody else. So if you're checking in now, once again, if you're watching on replay because you couldn't come in because you were, taking a nap from Thanksgiving, all that kind of stuff, just let me know you're watching on replay. I get it. This is not just for the live viewers, but I want to make sure I interact with the live viewers, and that's why I want to try to keep everything moving. All right, let's make sure I'm in the right screen before I get ahead. There we go. Oh, we always got to throw some love to 360 Gold. We actually did not have a mastermind call on Monday. Wasn't feeling too great. Came home, just went straight to bed. But we did kind of make it up with a quick creative checkup on Tuesday, which wasn't technically in the membership. So these folks in the membership have been hanging out with me for years, some of them. Some of them actually joined during a Black Friday, which I'm going to talk about later. And these are the recommendations that they have shown that they think. It's not what I'm saying. This is what they say about 360 Gold. If you're interested in 360 Gold, and yes, I did post just now. I literally made, because I almost forgot, a Black Friday bundle. I didn't have a Black Friday bundle. I've talked for years about being prepared. I forgot to prepare a Black Friday bundle. So I threw it together. It's there. Okay. Don't hate me. It may not be available on iOS. This is quickly announcement. If you ever try to click on something on the God and Gigs 360 app to get into the membership and it doesn't work on iPhone, go to the web. That's a quick note because that's happened to a lot of our members and it's a frustrating thing, but Apple just does not like giving us approval for our plans. And so it actually keeps us kind of stuck with people who are using it on the phone. Just go to the laptop if it's not working on Apple phones. I wish I didn't have to do that. I see you right there, Pastor Freer. I'm going to talk about Kit real quick. So I'm going to get to that comment. Speaking of Kit, yep, you know what? Let me pull it up because you're literally talking about the recommended resources I'm talking about right now. The resources we're going to share in the Black Friday deal, 90% of them are on the guidinggigs.com/toolkit. So you really honestly don't have to wait for that section. You can just go to the toolkit and most of them will take you to the website. And then the website of the tool will tell you if there's a Black Friday deal. Okay. But Kit's one of them, and they do have a Black Friday. I'm kind of giving it away a little bit. They do have a Black Friday deal that I recommend to all creators. But if you want to check out all of the different things, go to guideandgigs.com/toolkit. All right, upcoming events. Today, clearly, Black Friday, special offer. As I mentioned, there is a all-for-one bundle. I literally threw everything we have available at God and Gigs 360. Our mastermind, our confident creative Christian creator. Okay, we threw that in. We put in our live stream course on how I made almost $10,000 with live streams and how you can still make money with live streams. This is a fact people do not get. Live streaming, as I'm doing now, can still be a profitable thing that you can sell tickets to. If you're a musician, if you're a creative, you're a poet, you may not think you can make money selling tickets to your live streams. You can. I did it. It still works, pandemic or no pandemic. So that course is in there as well. So all these different courses are thrown in together, one big bundle, one price, easy peasy. So check that out at godandgigs.com/membership. Tuesday, we have our Kit email workshop that I just mentioned, 4 p.m. Eastern. You can sign up for that at alancpaul.com/email engine. Let me grab that banner real quick and make sure that you can see that. That's how you sign up for Pastor Fury. That's how you sign up for the email workshop. alancpaul.com/email engine, all one word. And then for our local South Florida podcasters, I would love to meet you. Come over to meet with us in Art Spot 403. It's in Hallandale Beach. I'll make sure to put that link up in the description as well, how to sign up for that, because I just realized I don't have a website for that. But that's an in-person meetup that's coming up as well next Saturday. So super cool. Lots of stuff going on. As I just mentioned, the email workshop that is coming up, I would highly recommend. Pastor Fury, this is for you. As I just mentioned, this is literally the creator educator at Kit. He is the one person who knows more about how to use Kit to get more subscribers and build your revenue, all the ins and outs, all the things that make email hard. He makes it easy. He knows how to teach this. I was literally in a room with him with a breakout session a few months ago with the other Kit creators. And when I tell you this workshop is probably going to revolutionize the way you look at email, I am not using hyperbole. That's real. Okay. So I highly suggest you all sign up. Doesn't matter if you use another email service, by the way. The things he teaches you could work with any email service. Clearly, Kit is the one we recommend, but it could work for anyone. So I highly recommend you sign up for that. That email will work. I'm sorry, that URL will work as well. But alancpaul.com/email engine is probably easier to remember. Okay, probably easier to type. So that's where you go for that. And I would love to see all of you. We want to get 100 people in the room. I'm setting a goal. I want to get 100 people. So if you have signed up, send it to somebody else. There is somebody in your circle who's wanting to start or build their own business, creative business, and they're not using email and they feel like it's a hassle and they feel like it's spammy and they don't know how to do it. Please send them this. Okay, pay it forward. I'm about to talk about asking, giving, and receiving. Thank you so much for that, man. Yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Sign up and then share it. Yeah, I'm trying not to go ahead because I'm going to talk about this in a second. I might spill the beans on everything. Most recent episode, getting through the news and notes. Start with this. This is what I would have done. The most recent episode right here on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube. The most recent episode I did was on what I would do if I was starting a new creative business in 2025. If I was starting gigging again, if I was starting a podcast again, if I was starting my creative business again in 2025, the 5 steps I would take based on what happened with me, because I learned my hard way back in 2015 when we started Gotten Gigs, and really all the way back to 1996 when I started as a musician. So these are all the things I wish I had known. And I suggest you check out that that video. It is incredibly, I've got a lot of comments already on it, just on how it was helping people to kind of rethink what they'll do at the beginning. So I highly suggest you check that out, please. And now we are at vital signs. I always try to get this done in 15 minutes. So I think I got the first section. I don't like to do too many announcements. So let me quickly jump over here and just see what you were saying, Pastor Fury. I will share the event in that video with my community. There's some folks that are starting online businesses this coming year. That's exactly why I wanted to make sure that was out before the December rush came out. So I went ahead and shared pretty much everything I'm sharing now is in preparation for 2025, because we all know, again, 32 days. If you're watching later, 31 days, less than a month almost until the new year is here. So it's like crunch time. If you're not planning now for next year, it's kind of like you're going to run this next year and be behind the eight ball. We don't want that. All right. So I'm going to kind of not wing it here. This is not winging it, but this is a topic that just got into my spirit recently. Asking, giving, and receiving. We all know the Bible verse where Jesus says, asking you shall receive, seeking you shall find, knocking the door shall be open. And then, of course, he says later, given it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, will men give into your bosom. I don't want to preach, but men give into your bosom. Jesus does not say God will give you when you give. It's crazy to kind of bring that up as the sun comes into my sphere, and I try not to either be blinded or blind you guys. But the powerful thing about this is there are so many things we don't have in our creative lives, our Christian lives, our faith journeys, because we don't ask, number one. And number two, because we don't, or we fear that we can't give. And here's an example that I'll use. It literally happened on, I want to say, I apologize, guys. This sun is killing me, so I'm going to turn a little bit to see if it's not directly in my eyes, because it's like it just fell right there. I don't know what it is about 1 o'clock and you're in the window, but it literally is trying to get right into my eyes. You see, I'm trying to avoid it. This is crazy. I'm trying to avoid the sun here. Maybe if I turn a little more this way, it won't be as bad. You guys can still hear me. Okay, I think that's good. You guys see it? All right, so I'm not anymore in the sun. I can still be heard. All right, let's do it like this. All right, sorry about that. That was super distracting. I was like, what's going on? But yeah, like literally as the sun was moving, it just hit me in the face. So what I was saying was, at a particular, it was a get-together / virtual meetup of podcasters and Alex Sanfilippo, who's the leader of Podmatch, amazing believer, Christian, leads his community with integrity, never beats anybody over the head with the Bible, because it's not a Christian community, it's for everybody. But he's so clear about, oh, of course, Pastor Fury, we met there, so you know about this, right? So here's the thing. We were in this meetup and we were talking about what struggles we have with anything. Alice kind of opened the floor. And one person said, oh, well, I'm trying to share my, this is not really a podcasting question. I'm trying to share my lead magnet. I don't really know what to do with this. And then someone else said, oh, I know someone. And then someone else who's a podcaster, who's a trucker, said, man, I wish I had knew this person that I've heard of. And someone else said, I know exactly who you're talking about. This person is here. And it was amazing that in just a room of 5 people, random people, you kind of know that even in every situation, when people show up online, especially like example right now, there's no telling who's here. There's 7 billion people and 4 billion on the internet. Who knows who's going to show up? And yet these people all had a resource that could help someone else. Here's where it comes even down to my street. The person that was asking for help with their landing page, I looked at the landing page. I said, oh, well, let me go and sign up for their thing. Let me give them a subscriber. And I looked and I said, oh, they're a Kit user, because it said built by Kit at the bottom. And I was like, should I even mention that I'm having an email workshop today? And you know what? Part of me was like, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want them to feel like I'm talking about myself or trying to promote my own thing. But then I said, wait, she just said she needs help getting more subscribers, sharing. And I did. And maybe she needs help with this. And so I said, okay. Hey guys, by the way, I'm not trying to sell or push anything, but I just want you to know I have an email workshop. I noticed that you're a Kit user. I'm doing this with the creator educator at Kit on Tuesday. And she lit up and she said, oh my gosh, I have been struggling with my emails. I haven't sent an email in like 2 years because I don't know what to send. Thank you so much for sharing this. I'll be there. And it just hit me that because I was all in my head, I almost didn't say anything. So that I would not have asked, right? And then had I not asked, I wouldn't be in a position to give. And then had I not gave, I would not have been in a position to receive. Does that follow? Instagram, if you're watching either on your replay or later, let me know if this makes sense. If you don't ask, I think that's why Jesus put this all together for us. And it's why in this season, especially the gift giving season, we need to think, and this is where the book I was reading, Give and Take, I'll definitely put a link into it into our library at godandgeeks.com/library. Or no, I think I added it to our Amazon store. So I'll give you the link to the Amazon store so that you guys can get it from Amazon. But Give and Take is the name of the book. And it's just a psychological explanation of why giving works in business. But it also is a psychological description of why the Bible says it is better to give than to receive. It literally walks it down to all these examples of where you give and you always get more than you give. So creators, I'm challenging you this season. Number one, don't be afraid to ask for what you need from others. It is a pride killing, which is a good thing, an ego killing strategy to ask. Not to ask because you're trying to get something out of someone, but to ask because you're admitting you need someone. Why would Jesus tell us to do something that he did not think was smart to do or a good idea? So if he says ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find, knock, then the first three commands of that are things we should be doing more of. We should be doing more asking. We should be doing more seeking. And we should be doing more knocking. Business leaders, business owners, creators, this is going to hit us hard. Maybe the reason we're not where we're supposed to be in our business is because we've stopped asking, we stopped seeking, and we stopped knocking. Yes, I know this is spiritual, but spiritual never applies without the practical. I want to see what our brother Pastor Furious said down here, because he says, this is speaking to me. Just talked on today's OCC podcast. That's Organized Chaos, I believe, about holding back what is in me for fear. So many things, concerned about how it's received, salesy, etc. So good, my brother. Amen. God bless you. See, this is why, again, I can tell you, every time I do this, it is always a challenge for me to feel that I don't have enough to give. Like, why am I going live? Who's going to listen? Does it even matter? And every time, this is the kind of message that comes. Now, here's the catch. Even if this message didn't show up, it still would have been worth it. Even when God doesn't give the obvious, oh, here's the reason you did it, I would still need to do this because of these very reasons, because of what you just shared. But I'm so glad that this is directly blessing you. So let's talk about this next year, y'all. Let's do more seeking, more knocking. Oh, okay. Thank you. Ordered Chaos Club. Got it. Super cool, brother. So that is what my challenge for our vital signs is: more asking, more seeking, more knocking. And then when we ask, then it's time to give. And here's the funny thing about it. The giving is always, how did I say it this morning? I wrote it in my journal. We never give to get, right? But when I give more than I take, I will always get more than I give. That's the definition of it, is better to give than to receive. Because every time I give more than I take, I get more than I give. Like that's the law of the harvest. That's the law of reciprocity. That's the law. It's a literal thing that you cannot undo. And I think us as creators, sometimes we feel like we're going to burn out. And that's why I recommend this book, because it talks about how burnout is, the way you get out of burnout is just giving more, but giving better, giving smarter. But you don't stop giving. And in this season of where a lot of people are going to ask a lot out of you, you're just going to have to be more clear about how you give, why you give, and being able to then see that you will never give more than you get in return. It is simply impossible. if you do it with the right motives. I could talk about this all night. You can tell, y'all. Bless you, Pastor. Thank you so much for giving those rounds of encouragement right there, those ringing endorsements of encouragement. I appreciate that, and it helps me continue to share. Okay, but today's Black Friday, so we got to get into this whole Black Friday thing. So let's jump back into this and make sure that we are very clear. Whoops, where is it? I lost it. I got all caught up doing a million things. How can I make it the way I want it? There we go. All right. So I should have had a lot more. Oh, wait, let me answer this question. What book is that? My book? No, it is called Give and Take by Adam Grant. And I just added it. Let me see if I can get my Amazon store link here, because I need to get a better link for this. Resources for creatives. You can go to, I think this will work, because I just added it to the, I do have a book. It is also here. But here is the store link. Make it shorter so it's easier to see. I should have this up all the time, or available all the time, and I always forget it. So there's a link to my Amazon store, and the Amazon store has that book in my best books recommendation, which fits right with what we're talking about right now. Okay, so best deals for Black Friday. And again, I don't have slides available for this one, but I just posted in my post for the community, the God and Gigs community. I just posted like most of these links. So I'm going to have to like go back and forth and type them in and such and such. But a lot of these are at the toolkit, and a lot of these are also, yeah, if you go to the toolkit and you'll go right there to that specific page, usually the Black Friday deal is already there. So you won't have to look at these big long links most of the time. So let me go ahead and pull out some of these that I know are pretty much the same. And then you won't have to go into like 500 different links to find them. The first one I'm going to highly recommend is, as you could probably guess, is the link to Kit. And so even though I'm going to be doing an email workshop, this is a different offer that they're doing. So what they're doing is they're doing a 30% off the annual price for their service, which is emails, which is helping you get your emails delivered right, because a lot of people don't realize they're not delivered if they are coming through your Gmail. Let's stop emailing people. And this still happens, by the way. This is a good thing, something I need to teach that I don't think we talk about enough. You should not be emailing businesses and other people like in an email list from your Yahoo, Gmail. Just, that's not cool. And musicians do this a lot. And it's really illegal, number one. You should not be emailing people from your personal email if it's a business related thing. You should not be doing a BCC. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You should not be doing a BCC and saying, hey, I'm playing at XXX. You shouldn't be doing that. That's considered spammable, right? That's considered spam because these people did not ask to be notified about your business, but you're just using your personal to notify them. And again, unless it's a direct personal connection that you're telling them about, when you start doing mass emails, you're going to get flagged. People are going to say, hey, that's not really information that you're trying to share. You're just trying to like get around having to buy that access or get opt-in, which is really a better way to say it, to get opt-ins. Okay, so don't do that. All right, do not do that. Okay, so that is one I would highly recommend to everyone, is to go to guidinggigs.com/kit. Now there is another longer email URL that takes you directly there, but I'm pretty sure if you go there, you're going to see the Good Friday, the Black Friday deal. Okay, so go check that one out. Now another one that for faith-focused creatives is huge. This one is one because I just talked about this a lot, about the email thing. Okay, that is huge. Another thing that faith-focused creatives, however, deal with a lot is also producing their content when it comes to video, audio, editing, all that kind of stuff. Now, this one is not one that I'm an affiliate of, but I will let you know that Adobe is, I think, for the next 2 or 3 days, offering 50% off Creative Cloud apps. This includes Premiere. This includes Photoshop. I use Adobe Audition for my podcast, for the actual editing. I would highly recommend checking this one out. And I do not have the link right in front of me, but I'm going to see if I can grab it. See if it's not super long. Because I was just looking at Adobe Product Special Offers. And again, I am not an affiliate of this particular site, so I don't think this is going to be anything that's a big deal. I want you to have it. It doesn't matter whether I get any kind of commission. So let's put this in. This is the one for 50% off all of their apps. I think it's for the first year. So if you are a videographer, if you are a editor, if you are doing, and I do believe there's a new Adobe app for podcasting as well called Adobe Podcast. Didn't really check it out much. I think I'm just going to stick with Audition because I'm used to it. That's my workflow. But I would highly recommend you check this out. Every creative who is doing anything in the editing world knows Adobe is pretty much like the standard when it comes to, Lightroom, and it comes to Premiere. This is something that all of us use. Obviously, PDFs and Acrobat, that is something that like 99.9% people use when it comes to PDFs. So highly, highly recommend you go check out Adobe Product Special Offers. The slashes are there to go save yourself 50% off. And again, this is not an affiliate deal. All right, now the next one I'm going to look at, and I want to see if it's here. Hold up, give me 1 second, because I feel like they should have had a deal and I never saw it. But I'm going to check because I feel like there's no way there is not a Black Friday deal for Canva. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm checking because I feel like they were definitely going to do one. And I don't see one, which is very interesting. So I'll skip past that, but I could have sworn that Canva was going to have a deal for this week. If anybody sees if Canva is doing something. Okay, I see. Let's see. You say you use Logic Pro. Okay. Yeah, the new app is called Adobe Podcast. And I believe that it's, the way I see it, it's like a web-based app, so it's not like super powerful, but it's worth a look. I mean, it's worth a look. I am definitely looking at some of my other software and just saying, okay, do I still want to use this particular software, or do I want to change it up? So that's why I'm doing this for Faith Focused Creators, because I think a lot of us get into a certain workflow and we assume it's the only way to do things. But I'm definitely a fan of trying things out, especially if there's a trial, or especially if it's cheap. Okay, so I would definitely check that out just to see if it might work for you. Okay, just to see if it's something that you might want to see. And then of course, 50% off also works for a lot of their other apps. So that's why I highly recommend that one. Okay, this next one, I need to put this in my shop, which y'all, I might do this right this second, even because I know I shouldn't work and talk, but I might do this right now. I might add this to my own. Hopefully I don't mess up and cut you guys off. By the way, hopefully the internet is working today, because the internet was giving us huge issues the other day, but now it seems to be working. So in my podcast setup, which I suggest, all right, no, we're going to change this. There is a Black Friday deal for a MacBook that I just saw pop up, and I'm going to make sure that it's in my store right now. So we're going to go in here. We're going to take out the old one, and let me go find this MacBook. I just put this deal up, and it's like 30% off of a MacBook Pro. So anyone that's looking for that, let's go here. Forgive me, y'all, because I'm trying to find this link. And I know the link's going to be super long. Or maybe not. All right, we got it. All right, so let me put in the link for this. Add products. And, all right, I'll find it later. I'm going to find it in a second, but we're going to get this up because I think saving this much money, I'm using a MacBook right now. It is what I would highly recommend for all of you who are getting ready to do any kind of new work next year. If you're an Apple person, I should say first, I guess. And so I want to make sure that you can get to the entire store. There it is, Black Friday deal. All right, so we just added it to the store. So now that same link that I gave you back here, you can go back there, and now if you want to see that Black Friday deal, it will be part of my store. And I just wanted to make sure it was there, because if it wasn't there, then you wouldn't be able to find it. But yeah, that's 23% off today, as well as, I should say, all the other things that I am sharing on my store. Some of them will be off, some of them will not have a percentage off. But it's just easier for you to go to the entire shop. And now let me just be honest. If you go to my shop, you're really helping us automatically, because through my shop, then any commissions that then come through there will actually benefit God & Gigs, and we'll actually get a commission for that. So that is number one, is a disclosure. But number two, it's a great way to support not just me, but other creators. If you see that they have a shop, start with their store. This is another way to give. Start with their store and then go shopping. Because what happens is, if you start with a creator's store, you're tagged, and then they get the commissions on anything else you buy at Amazon. And it's just a huge blessing, because all those clicks, I mean, you were going to go shopping anyway, right? So this is not just me. This is really me telling you, for anyone that is, if you know an Amazon creator. I know my friend Gio Valdez, who was on the God & Gig show for the fitness episode, which was amazing. He has a store. So if you're going to go look for some fitness stuff, start with Gio's store. And then if you don't buy anything from him, that's understandable. But don't just stop there, okay? Go ahead and look to see if there's any other things that you want from Amazon. And then at least you started from his store, and then he will at least get credit for those other things that you found. That's a great way to give back to creators this season, okay? There goes the sun again, because once again, we are moving through the day, and I got to keep dodging as the sun is moving. It's like I'm a sundial. You guys can tell what time it is by where the sun falls on my face. All right, let's see. By the way, let me check in on Instagram. You guys are doing good over here. Lavelle, SJ Brand Management, Frank Johnson, CEO, CS joined us as well. I think that's Charlemagne, right? I think that's Charlemagne. So nice. Good to see you guys. Hope you can hang out a little longer if you can, or just share this with somebody else. All right, so we did Amazon. We did the MacBook. Oh, the book, by the way, also same deal. At Amazon, there's also a deal on Profit First, which I highly recommend. Profit First. If you have not read Profit First before, it is the book we recommend for all creators. For all creators, all business owners, to get your finances right. I highly recommend you go check out Profit First. And it is also on sale, and I believe it is also at amazon.com/shop/God&Gigs. I think it's already there, so that way you don't have to put up a separate link for you. That is, again, great deal, just $10, and you learn so much about how to make sure your business is set up correctly. All right, I think, let me see, what have I forgotten? Have I covered everything? I did not talk about Mighty Networks yet, Podpage, TubeBuddy. All right, let's talk about TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is a app which allows you and helps you to optimize your YouTube channels. So all of the Faith Focused creators who have YouTube channels, all of you guys who have YouTube channels, please take advantage of this deal. Once again, this is for my fellow Faith Focused creators. If you are not using data to help you analyze your YouTube channels, most likely you're doing extra work, or you're missing out on opportunities because you're not understanding with clarity what your videos are doing. I'm telling you right now, as a mid-level, only 1,000 subscribers, but the way I got to 1,000 subscribers was by using TubeBuddy. Now, TubeBuddy has, just like a lot of these other things, has a Black Friday deal. Matter of fact, let's look up what it is, because I literally forgot what it was. It is 50% off annual plans, and they have a YouTube accelerator. So 50% off Now, again, this is one I probably can't use because I'm already a member. But if I were a new member, I would grab this right away. And I believe it's on their front page. It's on their front page. So you shouldn't have to go anywhere. So you should be able to use our link, guidinggeeks.com/TubeBuddy. Let's make sure it's working just like with everything. Let's check it first because I should be doing all this. Let's check it first to make sure TubeBuddy is working. So we don't have to do it. Yep, yeah, it should be there. Yep, perfect. All right. So yes, the deal is there. As a matter of fact, let's share screen. It'll just be a lot easier if you guys can see this for yourselves instead of me constantly switch to share screen so you can see what I'm seeing. And there, hopefully you can see it now. Let's make it a little bigger. So yeah, that's what they're offering. So if you go to guidinggeeks.com/TubeBuddy, and then you will be able to see this Black Friday bundle. You get the TubeBuddy Legend Annual License plus their YouTube Accelerator Masterclass, and unlimited access. Now, here's the thing that, again, this is a part that I don't think people realize how valuable this is. The channel insights, the predictive analysis, and competitor scorecard. I've used this. I get to use this as part of my deal that I currently have, the account I currently have with TubeBuddy. It has helped me figure out what time subscribers are on, what specific data they are searching for, the keywords they're searching for, which keywords will work best for my video. I use it to figure out the thumbnails and look at the thumbnails and to compare the thumbnails. They actually have an AI thumbnail analyzer. I mean, this is all stuff, again, that you can get for the pro level. But if you can get the entire bundle for $200 a month, $200 a year, like, that's a huge deal, and it makes so much difference in your actual page. It's the way that we really use shorts. I use it mostly for shorts. Shorts is the way that I've really seen it help me the most. So let's go ahead and so it's going to make a banner, but I can just type it in. And you said, Pastor, you said that you saw it in my shop. I think that was the book you were talking about. So here's the link for that. All right. So if you guys want to check that out, this again, highly, 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 highly recommend you go ahead and get TubeBuddy in some way, shape, or form. But the Black Friday bundle obviously makes the most sense because you can save money over time and you get all of the Accelerator Masterclass. Once again, I might be able to get this deal. I'm honestly not sure if I can get it as a current member of TubeBuddy. I might only be for new members. I don't know that for sure. Terry Can Music, good to see you. We're going over the best Black Friday deals. So I hope you can hang out with us. And we're also going to talk about some other stuff after this. I'm glad you can hang out. Let me see. Question. Yeah, but do you have the pro account for TubeBuddy or like all the access? I have the pro access. I think on another one, I might have Legend. I'm not sure. I actually cannot remember right now. Because I have two different accounts. I have the one at the church and I have the one, hold on, let's make this a little bigger so I can see everything. There we go. So I have one at the church, which might be Legend. And then I have one personally, which I think is Pro. So I don't know if I know I don't have the bundle because the bundle didn't exist before. So my suggestion is, again, with the entire setup that they have for the TubeBuddy, I would rather have the annual, to be honest with you. Like, that's where I'm kind of leaning. I want to get the annual so I don't have to worry about it. Here's the thing. I get nickeled and dimed by all of these monthly charges. So what I'm working on is making some more income and revenue so I can get as many of the annuals, and then I don't have that bleed of cash flow out during these months, and I can focus much more on income. And then that will make my overall business cash flow so much more consistent. It's the month to month, and I'm being very straight up with y'all. I'm telling you something that I think a lot of creators, including me, get sucked into. We buy a lot of monthly subscriptions because they're cheap, but then we're getting killed month by month by month because we're not necessarily making the income to support it. Whereas if you get a tool that can help you for 12 months and you don't have to pay for it for another 12 months, it gives you time to earn the money to pay for that tool, which then actually helps you make more money over time. So this is why I'm a big fan of annual plans, because if you can get them now, you save yourself money over the long haul, and you avoid that month to month kind of, ratcheting where every single month you got to make sure there's certain funds. And I'm talking to a lot of us that are in that same boat. Yeah, that's what I'm literally just agreeing with you, Pastor Fury. Yeah, the annuals save your money. Yes, they do. Awesome. Okay, so I'm glad we were able to go over that. We're at 45, so I'm almost out of time. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss any deals today. Oh, you know what I'll do? If you want, and I'm just going to put this out there for those of you who are watching live or on replay, if you want me to send you all the deals via email, just put, and I know Cyber Monday is included in this, so Friday's not over. It's not over if it's over by Friday. Most of these deals will go into next week. So if you want me to send this to you email, number one, you got to be part of the newsletter. And then number two, put, what's the word? Let's put deal in the comments. If you want me to put all of this list, because I'm not going to send it to you if you don't really need it, if you're not making a lot of purchases. But if you want me to send you this, because I thought about this too. I thought about putting all the deals in just one big, but I said, so many people are getting so many emails today about Black Friday. So let me just talk about it. And then the people who really want that, I will send that directly to them so they can have the list and they won't have more emails that they don't really want with more Black Friday stuff. So if you want that, please put deal. And if we get 5 of them over the course of the next 24 hours or so, if you get 5 deals in the comments, then I'll know that this is worth sending to the whole list. Okay. But let me know if you want that to be sent to you, because we're almost out of time and I don't want to get, okay, there you go. We got 1. So if I get 4 more deals, then I can go ahead and put that in there. Once again, wow, bless you, brother. Thank you, brother. Wow, that almost made me cry a little bit. Made me, whew, Jesus, you don't understand. Like, this is, when people say labor of love, you're gonna make me preach. See, I want to talk about this now. And I just thought about this morning because it was in my scriptures and my devotional. Yesterday actually. I want to go there. You know what? Whatever. If y'all don't need to hear this, let me get out of this screen because I don't think you want to hear this. It has nothing to do with Black Friday at all. But I was reading Psalm 127, which I think is the one that says that it is vain for you to rise up early, to go to bed late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for to his beloved he gives his sleep, right? So I've read that. I've used that to tell myself to go to bed. I've read that many times to tell myself, hey, Alan, just pushing yourself and hustling is not worth it. God wants you to rest. Here's something I never focused on, and here's what I read, because I'm doing a study on bread. I'm basically doing a word study. My devotional this year for the last 4 months has been basically to look at the study of bread. What is bread in the Bible? Why does bread matter? Why does God use bread as synonymous with provision, with health, with taking care of his children? Like, why bread? So I just rye bread, make myself laugh. So I looked at the next scripture, and the next scripture is obviously Psalm 128. And in Psalm 128, which is all this is part of the Song of Ascents, which is ascending into Jerusalem for worship. It says, if I could make sure I'm not messing up scripture, but paraphrasing it because I'm not reading it directly, it says, it will be good for you to eat the labor of your hands. And then I was like, wait, hold. Eat the labor? How do you eat labor? You can't eat labor. But then I was like, wait a minute. Just the scripture before it said, don't eat the bread of sorrows. But then the next psalm says, eat the labor of your hands. It will be good for you. when you eat of the labor of your hands, which means to me, you know, um, Paulinians 101, Allenians 101, it means that the sustenance that I'm getting is not the result of my work, it is my work. Jesus said, "Is my meat is to do the will of him that sent me." So what actually creates the fulfillment is not the results of my work, it's the actual working that is the bread, that is the eating. I will eat the labor of my hands, because when I'm actually doing it is actually sustaining me, instead of actually the thing that comes from the stuff that sustains me. I hope that makes sense. But it hit me hard that, I mean, I think a lot of us creators, we look for, especially faithful, obviously Christian creators, we look for the results, and the results we think will be defined. And then once we get the defining thing that we're looking for, that will fulfill us, when it's actually the act of doing the thing that is the fulfilling part. And people say this, oh, do something that you can do for free. They simplify it way too much. I think God is very clear that, no, I will sustain you as you do the thing, and that will become your sustaining thing. And that's why I think Jesus could say, my meat, what actually gives me sustenance, is doing the things that God asked me to do, not getting things from the things that God is telling me to do. Okay, Pastor, okay, I hope I didn't mess it up. I hope I did not mess that up. Literally is what I needed today. God's been working on me and my focus on results. Amen. Bro, well, 2 or 3 are gathered. All right, we're going to start church. We can't do this. We got to keep moving, because I got to talk about this other stuff. All right, what? This literally fits you. I got finished, right? So, and by the way, the rest of y'all that are watching, y'all quiet. I'm just going to point you out. Maybe you're watching on your phone. Maybe you got this on the background, but we do have other people watching. Maybe you're watching on Facebook. You haven't been able to jump in on the comments. I've been tempted to go past an hour, just because you can see that we can just start talking, and I don't care what's going on, because I'm not technically recording this for a podcast, which means it's just a conversation, and conversation is always best. So if you are watching and you can comment, please let me know. I know I haven't really said anything that, I haven't asked any questions, but would love to hear from you guys. All right, podcasters, this is for you. Pastor Fury is one of the podcasters, and the rest of us who might be thinking of podcasts, or as I said many times in God and Gigs, if you are not a podcaster, you should be on a show. You should be guesting on other shows. It is the easiest way for you to spread your message in 30 minutes, an hour of just talking about you and what you believe and what you think, and sharing conversations. It is free advertising for most part. You don't have to pay to be on most podcasts. So, but this is for those of you who are considering making a show. And again, this is me stepping out of my comfort zone and asking. I'm going to ask, and then I'm going to ask because I have something to give. And if I give, I believe I'll receive on the other end when it's time for me to receive. So what I'm doing for most of our podcasters, I'm trying to find a way to eliminate pod fading. If you don't know what pod fading is when you start a show and then you get tired of the show. And then after you get tired of the show, you give up. You didn't make any money. You didn't get a lot of downloads. And you're like, why am I doing this? And then you stop. Okay? That is what most podcasters do. You start a show, you get about 7 to 8 episodes, and you quit. It's called pod fading. Here is the thing. Most shows that start, they start super easy because you can just grab a microphone like I'm grabbing a microphone. You get some, you used to be Anchor, now it's not Anchor anymore. And you just start. And by the time you quit, you will never really realize what the potential of your show could have been had you started with a little more intention. But because you get that bad taste in your mouth, you're like, that was too much. And y'all, the reason I have a full-time position right now is because I had a show. If I had not kept my show going long enough, I would not have developed the skills that actually led to because I was part-time at my church. I'm being very transparent with y'all. I was part-time at my church as a musician. I was not full-time. You know what got me over the hump of full-time? It's podcasting. When I was hired to build our shows. I feel that in this season, for those of you who are considering a show, if you knew how to make sure you could avoid pod fading, you would almost have 100% chance of success. Because if you know what you're getting into before you start, you avoid all the issues that most podcasters run into, and then they pod fade, and you'll never know what your show could have been. You'll never know if you could have monetized it. You'll never know if you could have built a community. You'll never know if you could have found a passion. You'll never know if you could have become a producer of other podcasts like I did. So if you don't keep going, you won't know. And so what I am considering, and not considering, I am doing it, is I'm creating a program to help those people. So it is a website already up. It is an application process. It is not for everyone. It is not for people who are just doing this, who think they're just going to I just want to start and grab a mic and do it as a hobby. This is not the program for you. This is for people who want to take a serious stab at podcasting, who are like, not that it has to make money. I see Shiv over there on Instagram. Good to see you, brother. D Shiv, please go check out his episode 2. Oh gosh, I forgot the number. But he's been doing amazing things. Just follow Shiv and you'll find it. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing amazing. Hope your Thanksgiving was amazing. But yes, so you guys, I did not even prepare this link, but I will share the link if you are interested in avoiding pod fading and getting past that 25 episode mark. That is where I want to make sure. Oh, I'm typing the wrong thing. Pod fade proof. This is why I should do this beforehand. So that is where you go if you are interested in my podcast incubator program, which will start in 2025 and will go 12 weeks and will be basically you finding out how to create a pod fade proof podcast. Like, how do you stay in this long enough to actually generate revenue, generate income, influence, or impact beyond just that 7 episode mark where 94.7 of podcasters fall off. Okay. I'm offering it. I'm asking. I'm ready to give. Yeah, man. It's one of my favorite topics too. So that's really what I want to make sure that is out there for my podcasters in this group. And again, if I don't ask, I won't find out. So any of you that are podcasters or aspiring podcasters, you had a show that just died on the vine and you're like, what if? What if I gave it another shot? What if I gave it a serious shot? What if I really sat down with someone and worked it out step by step by step by step? What would it have been? You'll never know if you don't invest time, talent, and treasure into that thing. You got to figure out for sure. And then if it doesn't work, that's cool. But please do not give it a shot and then go 7 episodes and then quit and then be like, oh, if only. Okay? Don't do that. All right, we're coming down to the end. We've got a couple more comments. Let's see if anybody else has joined us on Instagram. Instagram. Let's see here. We had Kinsley Lynn or Kinsley. I was gonna say it. It's always hard when it's just a username. But thank you for joining us over there on Instagram. As I saw, G Shiv, I was also jumping in. And Pastor Fear was hanging with us the entire time. Let's see. I need something like TubeBuddy to put better wisdom and data into my work on YouTube for my podcast. Bro, 100%. That's what TubeBuddy will do. It's okay. I'm going to go over a tiny bit. I want to quickly give you a backstage pass to the data that I get from TubeBuddy, because this is literally what I'm working on now. Like what I'm using. Why can't I get into TubeBuddy? Hold up, I got to close some things. I'm sharing that screen. Oh, it's not sharing right this second. Okay, hold up. Let's go back to share. And I just want you to get like a picture of what it is. There we go. All right, now I should be able to do it. So let's get into, hopefully you guys are still seeing this. So go to analytics. And let's go to audience. So no, that's not a good one. Where can I go? Oh, duh. Silly. Just go here. So this is how I am using it to really figure out where I should go. So even with this one, if I want to go, let's say Black Friday deals. It's literally right here, but I'm just going to type it again. So if I want to find out how well Black Friday deals are doing in terms of like if I want to actually do this as a keyword, I got to click it again. You can see it's telling me that, you know what, doing Black Friday by itself is poor. Okay, so I didn't just do Black Friday. Now the search volume is high, but there's so much competition right here. See, there's just not worth it. So I didn't do that. But let me try and get to Black Friday deals again. Why didn't it pop up? Black Friday deals. That's the one I wanted. But then Black Friday deals 2024. Oh, still poor. Yep, because there's a lot of competition. Let's try a couple more. I want to see if I can find one for filmmakers. Nope, still poor. So all of these are pretty much, I'm not going to deal with that. So yeah, you can see I'm going to stay away from those because those keywords are not going to work for this particular one. But you know what? I didn't try. Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday deals 2024. Let's see if that, look. This is what I'm talking about. So it tells you where you might have a little more searchability SEO for specific keywords. Did that make sense? I just wanted to give you that quick look to show you why it's so good to use things like this, because it does help your podcast. It does help your YouTube, not just your podcast. So yes, exactly. It's telling you it's oversaturated with videos on those Black Friday times, but not Cyber Monday. Exactly. That's the value of things like this. It can tell you where you need to aim better. So I will definitely, perfect example, for this exact video, I will probably make sure there's more emphasis on the Cyber Monday tags and the Cyber Monday description, because Black Friday is over in the next 12 hours. So it makes no sense for me to post more about Black Friday, but Cyber Monday is still coming up. So I will push this one, this very video, more towards Cyber Monday. I might even change the title, deals for Cyber Monday for faith-focused creators, so that they see that this is not just for people who shopped on Black Friday and it's over. So this is a perfect example of how TubeBuddy can help. And that's, again, that's on the pro version, but there's other things that you can actually use it for. I could show you so much, man. You can get a deep dive on TubeBuddy, because there's just so many things that it does. Suggested shorts, I'll just do this quick as well. Suggested shorts is also good because it will look through your videos and show you the parts. And again, I think this is either pro or legend level. Let's see if it finds anything for me. It's searching. It might take a while to look because it's looking for all the different videos. Define areas where there's, oh, there we go. So this section 701 to 716 had a 105.27% retention increase. So that's a section of my video that I should consider using for a short. Same thing down here. God's timing for creatives. Same thing for Geo with hustle. This hustle destroy your health. So you see how these, again, little things, and shorts, honestly, shorts is how I built Shorts is how I built that. You're not taking over my live. You're good. No, you didn't take it over at all. You were hanging out the entire time and people are getting value from this. I guarantee you someone didn't ask a question. See, don't say that. You ask. Ask and you shall receive. Other people need to see that it's okay to ask. If they don't ask, then no one ever gets. I would never even done that had you not asked. So no. Do not apologize. Okay, you did not take it over. All right, that was awesome actually. Okay, so quickly, let's just review though. We do want to make sure we review. Oh, and I need to go over here and let's quickly go over the prescriptions. The prescription is please register for the free email kit growth workshop. The free kit email growth workshop, the email engine. And again, the easy way to get into that is simply go to alancpaul.com/email engine. We have a bunch. Oh, and I forgot the freebie. If you sign up, no matter whether you sign up for the workshop, whether you get kit, no matter what, doesn't matter if you buy it, doesn't matter. You will get my free template on my nurture sequence that gets up to 50% open rates or higher sometimes, but more importantly, gets replies. Because a lot of people can get, I got open rates and I get click rates, but a lot of people don't write emails that people reply to. But I have at least one email in my sequence that always gets replies. Like over the time I've been doing the sequence, probably 100 replies. Okay, if not more. Feels like more. I've gotten a lot of replies from this, and it's always the way that you write your nurture sequences that actually make your email newsletters stick. So everyone who registers gets that bonus. Everyone who registers gets my nurture sequence template on how to get emails that get noticed. Email sequences that get noticed when you first get it, because a lot of us, when we subscribe and then you don't really get anything, you're like, oh, whatever. And then you click off and you unsubscribe because you're like, it wasn't important. You don't want that. You want people to actually buy in when they subscribe to your emails. And that's what I am going to offer as a bonus to everyone who registers for the free kit email growth workshop, which is on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. All right, my friends, we went a little long, but we had an amazing day today. Remember to check out all those Black Friday deals, especially if you go to godandgigs.com/toolkit. You will see 90% of them will already be there. So all you got to do is go through those links and you'll see the Black Friday deals and the Cyber Monday deals. Remember, we said Cyber Monday. The Cyber Monday deals that are available there. Okay, go ahead and check those out and save some money, save some time, but most importantly, invest in yourself. Awesome. Wait, let's do one more question here. What do you use for shorts? Self-editing or something like Opus Clips? I'll show you right now. I use Vizard. It is the secret weapon. I don't like Opus Clips as much. Vizard is my favorite. It is not well known. But when I tell you, like, the clips have been amazing, I like it. Like, I had one other person who said, I don't like the clips. She only used it one time. Like, she didn't teach it anything. I think here's the thing. You got to stick with pretty much any of these things you use. So if you don't stick with it, it doesn't really learn your system or learn your style. But I highly recommend Vizard. Okay, highly recommend Vizard. So that's the one I use for my clips. We've built at least 2 podcasts up to 1,000 subscribers using shorts more effectively. We use them now for, obviously, we use Facebook. LinkedIn now does shorts. Surprise, surprise. LinkedIn does shorts. So I recommend Vizard for that. That's where you can find that. And I don't know if they have a deal today, but definitely check that out. But I'll hit you back. We know I can connect more, and I can send you more of that, especially if we decide to connect through the godandgigs.com membership, which, of course, I would love to have you in there as well, bro. But yeah, this was amazing. This was a great holiday. I got to get out of here because this is actually, I'm stealing my wife's office. As you notice, this was not my thing. You got the beautiful curtain in the back. There's so much more well put together than my office because the internet's better down here. So I was like, babe, can I please use your office? Thank you. So, let's see. We'll see what happens. We'll be trying to set up because we had some big issues with the internet over the last few days, and I was sick of it. I was just sick of it. So this was a lot more smooth, I think, and it's probably because I was closer to the modem and didn't need the Ethernet situation. All right, y'all didn't need to know all that. That was just background information. So thank you so much for joining me over here on Instagram. If you guys were joining us, thank you so much to Bernadine Dorsey. D. Shiv was here in the building. Frank Johnson, SB Management. Level Hawkins jumped in, Lenny Harris, Rich Estime, it was CJ Jazzy or C Jazzy, and Greg Johnson was also in the building for a second. So hopefully you guys got some value out of that. Of course, my friend here, Pastor Fury, joined us for this entire time. And those of you who are watching who could not hang out, or could not comment, if you're watching this on replay, please put replay in the chat, put replay in the comments, so I know you're watching later. And also remember, if I see 5 deals, I will make sure to send you the link to all the deals. It's also in our community tab, by the way. You don't have to worry about looking for it if you just go to the community tab. But I can also send it directly to your inbox if you want it for Cyber Monday. All right, God bless you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, continue to become the creative that you were created to be. God bless, and we'll see you next Friday for another creative checkup. God bless.